This is Peter Lau. Today is Thursday, October 10th. I'm at 12916 South Wilkie Avenue, Gardena, California. I'll be answering through the plumbing vent on the roof. In a brief moment, we will be transitioning to the end of the sewer line, as that provides the clearest video. We're 129 feet into the main sewer line, where it ties in with the city sewer. We're noted at a depth of 7 feet. Currently, what you're seeing on the screen is the city sewer lateral. That pipe runs 6 inches in diameter, and this is the portion of the line that the city will take responsibility for. Chem head is currently resting on the saddle, which is the curvature of the pipe coming from the property that meets with the city. So anything prior to the saddle included, is going to be on the homeowner's responsibility, which is why I scope out all the way to the city sewer connection. So now I'm going to start working my way back. And right off the bat, we are in clay piping, which is very typical. Most cities will use clay for their sewer line material. Things that I'm looking out for offsets, cracks, and root intrusion. Those are the more common things to find within this kind of piping material. So water was ran prior and during this inspection. It's been about 2 minutes since I've turned it off. And I run water to check for a few things. Make sure that there's no drainage issue. Make sure that if there is any blockage further down the line because of roots or any other reason, that it's not causing slow draining through the house. So once again, I am pulling the line back from the middle of the street where the city sewer is. So the distance indicator, which is on the bottom left-hand side of the screen, that number will be decreasing as I pull the line back. So here, we're seeing some root intrusion on the top portion of the line. Also included in this spot is an offset. So clay piping is predisposed to offsets, meaning that the joint that connects two sections of clay piping together becomes off-centered over time. This is typically due to heavy construction, earthquakes, and things of that nature. And what offsets allow for is water can seep out of that joint, which allows for roots to detect that water, and then they naturally want to grow where the water is because that's their nutrients. So sewer lines are constantly have water being ran through them, so it makes perfect sense for roots to just grow into the clay portion of the line. It's important to note that it's not causing a blockage at the present time of inspection. And again, some more root intrusion at the joints of the clay piping, not causing any blockage once again. However, the issues with root intrusion is that if you're going to have roots growing in the piping, at some point it's going to be a continual issue where you have to clear it out every so often. Because roots are a living and growing thing, unless the vegetation that is growing into the sewer line has stopped growing or is dead. Again, root intrusion will be a continual problem that needs to be maintained, and depending on the type of vegetation, this could be anywhere from 6 months, even shorter time frame than that, to a few years. It really just, again, depends on the type of root growth. with about 68 feet remaining. Still working our way back from clay piping. And another offset noted. And then you can see that there's a clumping of debris on the top hand side of that joint. That's not a natural formation, that's actually because roots are growing in and there's been some debris that gets caught onto the little branches. And we're just seeing similar formations here. So here we are transitioning materials. So we went from clay piping to cast iron. Cast iron is indicated in homes built during the 70s and any time prior to the 70s. So scaling is observed within the cast iron portion of the line. Scaling is basically a buildup of minerals. It gets caked onto itself over the years, and this will happen when there's water constantly being ran in this kind of material. Scaling is not causing blockage at the time of inspection. The estimated service life of cast iron is about 60 to 80 years. And this type of line should be checked rather frequently, I would say annually, for any changes in condition. Seeing as we are approaching beyond the estimated service life of this kind of material. But thus far we haven't seen any stagnant water or any debris buildup within the cast iron portion of the line. We're just noting that there is scaling within the cast iron, which again will happen as you run water through this kind of material. Now we're working our way up the plumbing vent, so there will be a little bit of lens flare as the camera head's dangling. And now we've made our way out the access, and this concludes the inspection of the main sewer line. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to call, text, or email me. Thank you.